Yeah, hard to answer in terms of just one, but I think one of the most important pieces of counsel I would give to an aspiring pastor is learn to pastor from faithful pastors and healthy churches. Most men, one way or another, are going to sort of lead a church in terms of what they've seen done in a church. They're going to do what they've had modeled to them. And the better the model you're working from, the more faithful it is to Scripture, and the more you've seen this at work in men's lives and the fruit it bears in a congregation, the better equipped you'll be. So one way to see it, you could think of it in terms of a medical analogy. You want to learn health from the healthy before you try to lead the unhealthy to health. There's another danger here, which is that some men develop a real burden for ministry out of being in a really unhealthy church or seeing people poorly cared for, maybe seeing some good fruit from their own teaching or Bible study or youth ministry, but maybe in the context of a church that isn't as healthy. A danger there would be in complete reactionary mode against all the bad things you've seen done in a church. But knowing what's wrong is not the same thing as seeing well and practically how to do what's right. So you want to be careful about being in a reactionary mode. I think in some ways even more important than seminary, and I'm a big believer in formal theological training. Even more important than seminary would be just plant your life in a local church where you can really get to know people, where they can really get to know you, and especially if it's a church that will give you more sort of access to what's going on in the eldership, if it's pastors who can actually spare time to bring you for kind of ride-alongs when they maybe do some pastoral counseling or bring you into their sermon preparation process. A number of churches, ours included, even have more formal residencies where they try to bring guys in full-time and support them for a season. For us, it's 5 months at a time. Some churches might have a year or 2 years, where the goal is to observe. The goal is to listen in on elders' meetings and sit in on membership interviews and see pastoring being done by men who are hopefully doing it faithfully, and to get a workable model. Not that you'll go away and copy every single detail, but that you'll have imprinted on you what's the character of a shepherd. How does pastoral ministry actually work? I remember coming here to Capitol Hill Baptist Church back in 2008, and probably one of the most formative experiences for me learning how to be a pastor as I went through our internship those years ago. I was just sitting in on the elders' meetings and hearing man after man pray for member after member, knowing what's going on in their lives, what their background is, what struggles they have, what spiritual opportunities are facing them, and that kind of detailed knowledge of every single member of the church, the sort of painstaking care they were investing in getting to know members one by one by one, and then praying for them one by one by one. I mean, another crucial lesson for me, I'm a very thinky guy, an ideas guy, by nature sort of black and white guy, but then just seeing the vast sea of gray that pastors have to swim in all the time, with the complexities of people's marriages and jobs and struggles people are facing. Pastors are just constantly living in gray area. And if your whole formation as a pastor maybe comes through podcast preachers or just reading good books or, a kind of talking head Christianity, there might be great stuff you're learning, but you're probably pretty far from actually being equipped to be a pastor if you don't know how to get into those messy details of people's lives and earn their trust and affection and actually help shepherd them step by step to be in a healthier place. So I saw all that and more from our own church's elders. It sort of imprinted me with what do I need to be pursuing to actually grow into being a pastor. So I'd say learn health from the healthy. Learn to pastor from faithful pastors and healthy churches. If you're thinking about moving and uprooting your life to go to seminary, well, even more important than that would be move and uproot your life to be part of a healthy church where you can get this in person.